Recording started. All right, Shalom. We're doing Psalms chapter 11, Telahim chapter 11, and D-Rail is going to start us up. So go ahead, brother D-Rail, nice and loud.
When am I not nice aloud? All right.
True.
All right, I'm reading from the ISR 2009. Telahim, Psalms, chapter 11. In Yahuwah I have taken refuge. Why do you say to me, flee to your mountain like a bird? For look, the wrong bend a bow. They set their arrow on the string to shoot in darkness at the upright in heart. When the foundations are destroyed, what shall the righteous do? Verse 4, Yahuwah is in his set apart Hakal. The throne of Yahuwah is in the heavens. His eyes see, his eyelids examine the sons of men. Yahuwah tries the righteous, but his being shall hate the wrong, and the one who loves violence. Upon the wrong he rains snares, fire and sulfur and scorching wind, and the portion of their cup. Verse 7, for Yahuwah is righteous, he has loved righteousness, the upright shall see his face. And I got a reference for verse 1 actually. 1 Samuel 19:11. It says, Saul sent messengers to David's house to watch him and to kill him in the morning. Michal, David's wife, Michal, told him, saying, if you don't save your life tonight, tomorrow you will be killed. So Michal let David down through the window, and he went away, fled, and escaped. And also, another reference for verse 7, one that I really liked. It's I think it was Psalms 42:5. Let me find it. Psalms. Is in the ISR it says 42:5 says, why are you depressed, O my being, and why are you restless within me? Wait for Elohim, for I shall yet thank him for the deliverance of his face. And that was referencing verse 7 for chapter 11. For Yahuwah is righteous, he has loved righteousness, the upright shall see his face. Then I had another one I really liked, if I can say it.
Good stuff, D-Rail. Hey, let's try to avoid doing cross references in Psalms since we're gonna read through Psalms.
Oh yeah, take a while.
If anything, maybe we can cross reference backwards when we get there. If you see any cross references that are in chapters before, we can connect the dots as we're going
I got Job.
Yeah, go for it.
I got Job 36:7 for chapter 11 for Psalm 7 again. Okay, Job 36:7.
You gonna read it?
Yeah, I was looking for it, sorry. He does not withdraw his eyes from the righteous and sovereigns on the throne and seats them forever, and they are exalted. Anyways, the reason why I like referencing this verse, or chapter 11, verse 7, is because it's pretty much, saying like Yahuwah loves the righteous. He loves it when you try to do righteous. He loves it that you are righteous. So why continue living in Babylon when most of Babylon, anyways, is an abomination to him? So that's a good argument for me to say to people, this is why I am set apart, because I am trying to live righteous in the eyes of Yahuwah, not the world.
Excellent, brother. Yes, sir. Sharp. Very good.
I got one, but I'm done.
What was that?
I said I got one more, but that's all good.
Do it. No, do it, D-Rail. Go.
All right.
Love it. Very good, brother.
1 Peter 3:12, which he's pretty much quoting one of the Psalms. So is that like a gray one, or does that count?
Yeah, no, if you're going to Brit, that's great.
All right, 1 Peter 3:12. And it says, because the eyes of Yahuwah are on the righteous, There you go, right there. And his ears are open to their prayers, open to their prayers. But the face of Yahuwah is against those who do evil.
Wow. So even Shaul is in agreement.
Not Shaul.
Or Peter. Yeah, my bad.
Peter.
Peter. Yeah, even Peter. Kepha's in agreement.
Right. The rock, man.
So what does that say about Yahuwah loving everyone the same?
He doesn't.
It's not true, right?
Exactly. Common sense reading, people.
That's very good. Very good. Good job. I got a few cross references. I don't see any hands raised right now, so I'll jump in on a few. For verse 1, Psalms 11, verse 1, I'm seeing Isaiah 26, verse 3 to 4. You will keep whoever's mind is steadfast in perfect peace because he trusts in you. Trust in Yahuwah forever.
Hallelujah.
For in Yahuwah is an everlasting rock. That was Isaiah 26, verse 3. 3 to 4. Trust in Yahuwah. I like verse 4. Trust in Yahuwah forever. For in Yahuwah is an everlasting rock. You got the short name of the Father and the long name of the Father in one verse. And he is an everlasting rock. Peter's not. Yeah, Doug just said Peter. Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Because I think I heard D-Rail say something about that. Yeah, that's another thing from the Catholic Church we have to unlearn. Peter's not the rock. He, in that context, in the Gospels where Yahusha is speaking to him, and he's saying, upon this rock I will build my assembly. He's not saying Peter's the rock. He's talking about the physical rock that's there. He's not saying, or he could be referring to himself, but he's not saying, Peter, you are the rock of my assembly. And that's how Catholics get that Peter was the first pope and all that mess. So, yeah, it's very important to understand that Yahusha is the rock. Peter's not the rock.
That'd be a good word study to do. Rock. And see all the scriptures that show up for the Father and the Son. Because right before Peter answered that question, the question was, who do you say I am? So Messiah, Yahushua is asking Peter, who do you say I am? And then he says who he is. And then he says, upon that rock, I will build my congregation. That's, oh, Shoshana, I see you. All right, go to Shoshana or Dennis. All right.
Yeah, we were listening to what you said about Peter, and a friend of mine, he was forced to go to, I call it seminary school, and that's what he learned, that Peter supposedly was the first pope and all that crap, which obviously is not.
That's correct. Yeah, it's not true. Thank you for sharing. All right, we'll move on to the next chapter. Psalms chapter 12. And we can do this all day, cross-referencing. There's so many good things in this chapter. I mean, we saw before how he hates the wicked. Verse 5. My bad. I guess I'm going back to Psalms 11 real quick. Psalms 11, chapter 5. Let's see here. Yep, we read it in Psalms chapter 5, verse 4 to 5. For you are not an Elohim who has pleasure in wickedness. Evil can't live with you. The arrogant will not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. Those are strong words. And yep, that was chapter 5, verse 4 to 5 in Psalms. And then we also read it in the previous chapter, chapter 10, verse 3. For the wicked boasts of his heart's cravings. He blesses the greedy and condemns Yahuwah. Never mind. That's not exactly the same as that verse. And that's it for that. There's some scriptures in Proverbs 6, Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 and 19. There are 6 things which Yahuwah hates. Yes, 7 which are an abomination to him. Arrogant eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, aka murder, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are swift in running to mischief, a false witness who utters lies, and he who sows discord among brothers. Wow. You know those instigators, those gossipers in every congregation? Wow, that's amongst the list of 7 things which are an abomination to him. Now, do you know why some people get excommunicated from communities? Why we have the death penalty? Anybody else got anything to share? All right. I'll read the next chapter. Oh.
Just wanted to give a summary of this chapter. For me, this chapter pretty much can be summed up in trust in Yahuwah. Don't worry about the wicked trying to kill you. Yahuwah looks upon the mankind. He tests them. And pretty much it says he will destroy the wicked, with sulfur. That really stood out to me because Peter talks about that the earth of now is reserved for judgment of fire. So that kind of stood out to me.
Good stuff, brother. All right, let's go to chapter 12. Psalms chapter 12. I'm reading from the web. Is she outside or inside? She's inside. Psalms 12, verse 1. Help, Yahuwah, for the godly or set apart man ceases, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. Everyone lies to his neighbor. They speak with flattering lips and with a double heart. May Yahuwah cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that boasts. Well, I got a PhD in seminary and reverend doctorates. I got my doctorates and I fed 5,000 people this week through my organization, 501c3 non-for-profit church. How many people did you feed this week? I've been a Christian for 50 years. How are you going to tell me what is righteous and what is not? I've had people tell me this stuff, Christians that I've debated. I've been a Christian for 50 years. You've been a Christian for how long? Only 10? That is why you're in false doctrine. Bud, read what Shaul said to Timothy. It's not about age. It's about wisdom, and it comes at all different ages. Let's see here. Verse 4. Who have said, so the ones that boast have said things like, with our tongue we will prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? Who can tell us what to do? A lot of atheists like saying things like that. There is no God. There is no one upstairs telling me what to do. I am the Lord over my own life. I am the God in my own life. It's like the worst place to be. Verse 5, because of the oppression of the weak and because of the groaning of the needy, I will now arise, says Yahuwah. I will set him in safety from those who malign him. Who puffs? Yahuwah's words are flawless words, as silver refined in a clay furnace, purified 7 times. You will keep them, Yahuwah. You will preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when what is vile is exalted among the sons of men. We're living in that time right now where sin is exalted and things that are vile are exalted. We got it on the TV screens. We got it on billboards. It's everywhere.
What verse are you? Oh, okay. All right. I was on the wrong verse. Okay.
All right. Anybody got anything for this chapter? There's a lot of good stuff
I
in
do.
here. Go ahead, Brother D-Rail.
On verse 3, what does Jude say again?
Sorry, verse 3.
Yeah.
May Yahuwah cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that boasts.
I like
Brag.
how the ISR puts it. Yahuwah does cut off all flattering lips.
Yeah, Yahuwah cuts off with an S maybe at the end would be better.
Does cut off.
Because he will, he does.
What's an example of flattering lips?
That's a good question. Let's see. Flattering lips. I guess what comes to my mind, I don't know about anybody else, but what comes to my mind is somebody that is praising and affirming someone for the sake of gain or favoritism. So, man, you're so great, D. You sing so good, man. You're so anointed. But there's an agenda behind all that, to try to.
Right, that sounds right. Yep.
So you would say like kissing butt.
But if you also take in context the verse right before that, it says they speak falsehood with each other. They speak with flattering lips, a double heart. So it's mostly like double talk. They'll talk behind each other's back. They'll talk to this guy bad about this guy when he's not around. But when he's to him, it's like, hey, bud, how's it going? You know what I'm saying? So,
Two-faced.
yeah, being fake and two-faced.
That's great,
Yeah,
Bobby.
that sounds right too.
That's context right there, Bobby. Good job. That's on the money.
Bobby always got the context.
All right, we got Shoshana. Okay, I think you're unmuted now. No, it's not working. Try again. There we go.
Am I unmuted? Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what the Pope is doing now, coming in with flatteries. That's exactly what he's doing now to destroy many.
But remember, these rules apply to us. These rules apply to Israel, not the world.
Well, the Pope's taking over Israel through flatteries.
This is true. Yes, we saw a message about that last night.
Yeah. Are we still muted?
Yeah, and verse 2
Oh,
says
no.
everyone lies to his neighbor. I mean, yeah, the context I think would definitely be Israel because Israel's being addressed. But I think this is a universal concept here. I don't think Yahuwah turns a blind eye to the wickedness of the world, and then you have the world disguising themselves as believers in the scriptures that we believe in, and they're twisting it up in their who knows what Jesuits and all the stuff we've been learning about. Which, by the way, Shoshana, we watched the documentary on the Jesuits there. That was very enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very wicked how men disguise them. Like they go into every denomination, any, denomination, and they're trained on how to go along with the ministry and go up in ranking just so they
Yeah.
can eventually start to preach false doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes,
wicked.
they totally destroyed the Seventh-day Adventist Church from what it was, and they destroyed the churches of God. They are now unable to grow, unable to think outside the box. They're put in.
And where do these Jesuits get their information? They've already
From
stolen.
fallen angels.
Well, no, I'm talking about the scriptures and everything. They have all the original scriptures in the Vatican. They study it to destroy us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we won't get into that right now. Brother Doug, you got something?
I got a cross reference from this chapter. Verse 7 really spoke out to me in my version. Chapter 12, verse 7 of Psalms says, "Therefore, Yahuwah, we know you will protect the oppressed, preserving them forever from this lying generation." And that reminded me of what Paul said in Acts chapter 2, verse 40. And with many other words, he earnestly witnessed and urged them, saying, "Be saved from this crooked generation." Yep. And Yahusha also says in the Gospels, he's like, "You seek a sign, you wicked, perverse generation that always seeks a sign." So that verse from Psalms, verse 7, kind of brought that back up to my memory.
Good job, Doug. Yeah, it looks like these words here in Psalms are past, present, future. They bound throughout time. We can see this manifest, and we're gonna see it again. We're gonna see it again. There's gonna be a great tribulation, a great persecution, and I pray I'm alive that we will see it and be like, look, the scripture we just read in Psalms, it's happening. You know, they're out trying to kill the set apart ones, but they can't do it. We're being protected. Boom, here the scripture is being fulfilled in our hearing, in our sight right now as we speak. That type of stuff.
Add some interesting fact. The interesting fact is in the Septuagint, many of the Psalms for the title of certain Psalms will say "for the end." Like some of them actually are according to the translators of the Septuagint are telling you that specific Psalms for the end times. So I found that interesting. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I just want to jump back into context. Context is so important because he does separate Yashrael from everybody else, you know. And if you think about it, when they were punished, they were thrown out into exile through Babylon, you know. So when you're not in the nation, it's a form of punishment. So when you look at these verses and what they were given that when they were a community, when they were one, you know, when they say your brother and sister and your neighbor, that meant the people around you that were also Yashrael, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these churches say that, no, that means all the Gentiles and everything, but no, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And we need to put that into context. Love my neighbor, those are the people in the truth, in the name around me, you know. It doesn't physically mean my next door neighbor, you know what I'm saying? I got to remember that, because at the end of the day, they're not following the path I'm following, you know. I just want to throw that out there, you know, talk about context for a minute.
Yeah, but we also have to remember the deception that's been brought on by Catholicism and Christianity, and so, you know.
I was talking about the verses that wouldn't corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Yes, of course I'm going to love my neighbor, but when it comes to giving and being charitable and all that other stuff, I got to understand that Yashrael comes first, because that's my family. You know what I'm saying? Those neighbors are my family. We might not be blood. We don't know if we're blood, but they come first. You know what I'm saying? That's the context I was trying to portray.
Righteous. Very good. Very good. Chapter 13. Let's keep going. Only about 300 chapters left. I read 12. The wicked walk on every side. 13. We're on chapter 13 right now. Who would like to read? Doug.
Okay. Psalms chapter 13, I will be reading from the NLT Study Bible, the New Living Translation. O Yahuwah, how long will you forget me? Forever? How long will you look the other way? How long must I struggle with anguish in my soul, with sorrow in my heart every day? How long will my enemy have the upper hand? Turn and answer me, O Yahuwah, my Elohim. Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die. Don't let my enemies gloat, saying, we have defeated him. Don't let them rejoice at my downfall. But I trust in your unfailing love. I will rejoice because you have rescued me. I will sing to Yahuwah because he is good to me.
I'll just speak in general. I think this is a good chapter for what we were talking to our family before about those who come against us as we're in this walk. And although that we may be talking about something different, I think this can speak to those emotions, and we know what we're speaking of. But as we are walking in the truth, as we do turn away from pagan ways, as we do try to become more set apart, and people do try to hit you with, oh, you think you're more holier, you think you're holier than thou, and stuff like that. Well, when people say that, they usually mean in a judgmental, like a condemning way. But yes, there is an aspect of someone walking more set apart. It's just the more mature you are. A baby does certain things. They spit up their food versus an adult. There's a maturity level, and there are those who are walking further along. So I'm not against that, but I think this is a beautiful psalm for those of us who have to face endurance, or to endure, which is all of us, and especially when we get hit with our enemies, which can be those very, in our home. Those can be those within our family. They can be those who we called friends before, as we go closer and closer to Messiah. And at the ending of the verse where it says, his says, Yahuwah, you'll rescue me, or something in those lines. Mine says, verse 5, but I have trusted in your mercy. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. And knowing that if we endure to the end, that he will save us, and he refines us through fire through this time. You wanted to hop on, babe?
Yeah, I wanted to say with this chapter, I found it very interesting. I don't claim to know how we got the order of this book of Psalms, so it doesn't matter to me. But I find it funny that this chapter came right after the chapter where it's like, oh, Yahuwah, you take care of the oppressed. And verse 7, you will keep them, Yahuwah, you will preserve them from this generation forever, like you're protecting. But the next chapter is, Yahuwah, help me. So it's like, again, it's not David being a hypocrite. It's David going through stuff and seeing other righteous people going through trials, but having hope and trusting in Yahuwah's salvation and Yahuwah's deliverance, keeping the hope. Even the way he starts this chapter from the way he ends it is totally different. The way he starts off is help me, and the way he ends it is you will keep sorry, I'm in the wrong chapter. The end is, but I will trust in your loving kindness. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to Yahuwah because he has been good to me. So it's a lesson for all of us. Like, we're going to go through stuff, man. We're not immune. It will come. A storm is going to come. Something's going to happen. And we're going to have to lean back on the good times, on times when Yahuwah did rescue us, the times where he did open the door, the times where people did pitch in and Yahuwah's Ruach moved through people and helped us in a time of need. We got to remember that and keep going forward. So that was anybody? Oh, Shoshana. I got you.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yep.
Okay. I was just going to say that this is how I write a song. I might start off feeling down, and I do it to help myself feel better. And by the end of the song, I feel better, and my song is more uplifting, even though it starts off, help me, I am so low. And then at the end, I feel a whole lot better because I trust you. That's the way it works. And this was a song that King David wrote. And I can relate to that.
That's great, Shoshana. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can definitely say that this is something that I experience quite often myself, and it just shows the beauty of how all the glory is to Him for when we seek His face, when we seek Him, and not anything from another man or other mighty ones. We're blessed. Can you hear me? I said that this is showing the beauty of the blessings that we receive when we seek Yahuwah in our suffering and our difficulty. We're not seeking to be healed or to feel better by another man or another mighty one. We seek His face, and in that moment, it's amazing how quickly we can see that come through, and it's all the glory to Him.
How much time we got up there? You see the time? All right, we got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. D-Rail, do you have anything to share, brother?
Yeah, for Psalms 5 and 6, I got a reference. I don't know if you already read this one, but Isaiah 12:2. I don't know if you read that one, Brother D. But it goes, "See, El is my deliverance. I trust and am not afraid. For Yahuwah, is my strength and my song, and He has become my deliverance." The reason why I thought you read that before is because it says Yah and then Yahuwah at the same time.
Yeah, I think I did read that one, but it's all good. It's great to hear it again. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All
Always
right,
good to hear all of you.
let's see here. Chapter 14 is 7 verses long. Yeah, we'll start a new one. I'm going to end the meeting and jump back in. Where is it at? This one, this red one.